All right, Laker fans, welcome into the post-game show as the Los Angeles Lakers have defeated the Houston Rockets 112 to 102 to take a 2-1 series lead. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, absolutely dominant. A great game for the Rockets with Russell Westbrook and James Harden, and it was close up until the bitter end, but we'll give the full recap here in a minute. What I want you to do right now is give me your one-word reaction to this game and what you think about what the Lakers just did as they take home that game. What an incredible performance. Such a fun game for the Lakers and for the fans being able to watch this and be able to win this game. I think my one-word reaction would be dominant. I think not the entire game, but that fourth quarter, they showed their dominance in this one. They showed that when it matters, they can step up. When their best players need to take advantage of a situation, they can absolutely do that. Now, this was such a good one, and LeBron James, like I said, had 36 points, 5 assists, and 4 blocked shots. Let's get into the full box score here again. 112-102, Lakers W. LeBron leads the way for the Lakers with those 36 points. Also had 7 rebounds, only 2 turnovers, 6 of 10 from the free throw line, 4 of 9 from 3, and 13 of 23 from the field. Anthony Davis, your next leading scorer with 26 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 8 of 11 from the free throw line, 9 of 13 from the field. Didn't take a three-pointer in this one, but didn't need to. Rajon Rondo, 21 points and 9 assists in 30 minutes of action, 3 of 5 from 3, 8 of 11 from the field. Such an incredible game from playoff Rondo. We'll talk more about him here in just a second. Kyle Kuzma had a really solid game off the bench. 24 minutes, had 14 points, a block, a steal, 3 boards. One of those was an offensive rebound. Besides those 4 guys, nobody really stepped up big for the Lakers. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope had 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists on 2 of 6 3-point shooting. Danny Green was not good with 2 points and 6 rebounds in 22 minutes of action. Alex Caruso, 5 points, 2 rebounds. Didn't do a whole lot of things special on the defensive end, but he did just enough for the Lakers to get the W. JaVale McGee only played 7 minutes, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 steals, 0 assists, 0 blocks, 1 turnover, and 1 foul. We did not see Dwight Howard, Jared Dudley, or Talen Horton-Tucker in this game for the Lakers. Meanwhile, on the Rockets side of the ball, 33 points for James Harden, just an assist and a rebound shy of a triple-double with 9 and 9. Only had 2 turnovers and went 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Russell Westbrook was amazing in the first half, and I truly thought this was going to be the game that really changed the trajectory of how he was going to play against the Lakers for the rest of the series. But second half, he slowed down a little bit, but for a whole 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, a block, and 3 turnovers. 2 of 4 from 3, 13 of 24 from the field. Jeff Green had a great night off the bench with 35 minutes, 16 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, a steal as well. Robert Covington, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. Did everything that the Rockets needed him to do. Eric Gordon had 10 points, and PJ Tucker had 3 points. Ben McLemore and Austin Rivers both played 10 and 11 minutes respectively, but 0 points for both of them. Luke Mbah-a-Moute, Damari Carroll, Bruno Caboclo, Chris Clemens, and Melvin Frazier all did not play. Tyson Chandler and Daniel House were both out before the beginning of this game. Tyson Chandler was out with a personal issue. Daniel House had an injury. Now, quick recap in case you missed this part at the very end. The Lakers, Anthony Davis and Robert Covington kind of collided. They had a pretty tough, run-in at the very end of the game, and Covington was down for a while, so was Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis actually couldn't lift his hands above his head because his side was hurting so bad, but Covington was bleeding from his face. I think he's going to be okay. He'll probably go into concussion protocol or whatever that might look like, but I think he's going to be fine. Interesting kind of nugget there, but I think AD is fine. He played the rest of the game even after that quick little injury that hit him. So what I want to do now, because I gave my box score, really gave you the one-word reaction. Now I want to grade some of these players, and let's start off with, let's just combine both of them. Let's say the duo in LeBron and AD, because both of them get A pluses for me. And here's why. Not just because of the big numbers. I think that's obviously important to see LeBron step up and be, the player that we know he can be when he asserts himself. And same with Anthony Davis. It's not just the numbers. It's the fact that they looked so confident and they both just took over early and they took over often. Because this Rockets team is not built to defend against guys like Anthony Davis and LeBron James. LeBron is a 6'8", 6'9" point guard. Anthony Davis is a 6'10" big man. The biggest player in the starting five for the Rockets is 6'8" and PJ Tucker. When you have those two guys as your star players, you should go to the rim. You should dominate the boards as they did. 15 boards for Anthony Davis, 36 points for LeBron James, 7 boards, 5 assists, 4 blocked shots as well. It was a heck of a game for both of those guys. I give them A+ all around, and I think this is going to set them up really nicely for the rest of the series because now they look at it and they go, okay, so they want to play small ball. We're going to play bully ball, and that's what they can do against this team. Let's grade one more guy, Rajon Rondo. And listen, I'm going to be 100% honest. I am a guy that does not like to give credit to Rajon Rondo. I don't like to do it. I don't like the way he handled himself in Dallas. I think he just has his ups and downs as a player. But tonight, A+ for Rondo. When nobody else on the bench and no other role players for the Lakers were stepping up, when Danny Green was terrible, when KCP only hit 1 3 in the first quarter, when JaVale McGee only played 7 minutes, when Kyle Kuzma was struggling early on, Rondo said, I'll take over, I'll come off the bench, I'll make plays, I'll make those beautiful passes, and I'll make some tough layups as well to get this team going. And he was the turning point for the Lakers. Now, they went into the second quarter. They were just bad in the second quarter. The Rockets kind of dominated them in the second. The third quarter, they evened things out. And then from the very beginning of the fourth quarter all the way to the end, the Lakers barely let it get below double digits. I mean, it was a dominant performance all the way through. One little note that I want to say here. By the way, defense as a whole gets an A as well. Holding the Rockets to 102 points is absolutely outstanding. One thing that I do want to point out about Anthony Davis's game, the Rockets are playing him very well in the defensive end because we all know, I still believe, I'm in the camp that Anthony Davis was the defensive player of the year. Yeah, Giannis won it, but I think AD was the defensive player of the year, and he got robbed. And so I'm going to just say this. The Rockets are doing a great job of making him more or less irrelevant on the defensive end because they stretch things out on the perimeter so much that AD really can't make life tough on them in the paint because they don't go to the paint. They don't need to. And AD has to guard guys like PJ Tucker out in the corner because he's the best corner three-point shooter in the league, and guys like Eric Gordon and guys like Robert Covington, who traditionally threes and twos are guarding those kind of guys. Well, not twos, but threes are guarding those kind of guys. Now AD, who's playing the 4 or 5, has to defend those guys who are three-point shooters, making him less useful in the middle as a big man. But obviously, that wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, let's just be honest. At the end of the day, it didn't matter. The defense from LeBron James, 4 blocked shots in the fourth quarter. Or was it the third? Whatever it was. I don't even care. It was the fourth. I mean, that dude was playing out of his mind on both ends of the floor. And this is what frustrates me sometimes about LeBron is that we know when he wants to be, he can be a top 5 defensive player in the league. When he wants to be, he can lead the league in block shots. When he wants to be, he can probably lead the league in steals for all we know. When he wants to be, he can shut down anybody on the perimeter that he wants to. That's the mindset LeBron James has to have the rest of the playoffs. The mindset he had in that third and fourth quarter defensively is what he needs to play with every single night, especially against an elite offensive team like the Houston Rockets. I loved what I saw from LeBron tonight. It was outstanding. It was reminiscent of when I watched LeBron as a kid with the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers being the best player I've ever watched on the basketball court. And he's done that most of the year too. He's still been a top player, but in the bubble, we know he has struggled. Now, LeBron didn't score that much in the second half. That's when his defense turned on. He scored 29 of his 36 points in the first half alone and just proved to be dominant on the defensive side of the ball in the second half. And that's more than enough if you are a Lakers fan and if, you're happy with this performance, as you should be, because this is the kind of performance the Lakers truly, truly needed. And I am extremely excited for what's to come for this Laker team. Now, we went live for this game. Didn't have as many viewers as I would have liked. I think we could have had quite a few more. I think on the next show we can do over 500 viewers on this Lakers channel for Game 4 against the Houston Rockets. But the only way you're going to know that it's happening is if you are subscribed. So hit that subscribe button. We make it real easy on you. We'll put it in the description. We'll put it in the comment section. We'll make it really, really easy. Or you can just hit the big red button that YouTube already puts on it there for you. You see the YouTube, like you see it down here? So there's my name, there's my Twitter, and then there's the YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. That's what it looks like on the screen as well. All you got to do is click it and subscribe to make sure you know the next time that we are going live here on the Lakers Report. Now, final thoughts here as we get set to check out and kind of just enjoy this Game 3 win for the Los Angeles Lakers. Look, a 2-1 series lead is huge. I don't know the exact statistics. I don't have them out in front of me. But I know that when teams take a 2-1 series lead, more often than not, they go on to win the entire series. Now, obviously, the bubble is a totally different animal, and we don't know what's going to happen. But Game 3 was important. Taking a lead after tying it up the first 2 games, that's important. Game 4, even more important. But the thing is, the Rockets are going to be, and we've seen this from the Lakers, right? The Rockets are going to be the team that are playing with a sense of urgency in Game 4. And we know that when the Lakers aren't playing with a sense of urgency like they did in Game 1 against the Blazers and in Game 1 against the Rockets, they tend to fumble some games away. So I'm very, very interested to see how they come out and play in Game 4. I think it's going to be a super fun game. We'll probably be live once again for it here on the Lakers Report. You're not going to want to miss it on, what's today, Tuesday? So on Thursday night, it is going to be a wild, wild game. And you're going to have to expect a lot from Anthony Davis and LeBron James because they showed up in Game 3. Can they show up in Game 4? Now, one thing I am worried about that I do want to mention here is the fact that Russell Westbrook has found his rhythm. The dude is officially in a spot now where, you know, he scored 30 points tonight. He nearly had a triple-double with 8 rebounds and 6 assists and 2 steals. He shot 2 of 4 from 3 and 13 of 24 from the field. He's in a place now where he can catch fire. And if Russ and James Harden are catching fire, you got to make sure nobody else on that team is useful. Jeff Green can't be giving you 16 points per night. Robert Covington can't give you 10 points in the first half. So the Lakers are going to have to focus on those other guys and make sure that now that Russ has found his rhythm, potentially, maybe it's just one game, they're going to have to be able to shut down the rest of those guys. So Game 4 is coming up real soon. It's coming up on Thursday night. We will be live for it here on the Lakers Report. I appreciate all you guys watching with me. Make sure you leave that one-word reaction to this game in the comment section down below. And we'll be keeping you updated on all the Lakers coverage you need all playoffs long. Whenever the finals roll around, hopefully they're in it. And whenever the offseason rolls around, you can bet your bottom dollar that we are going to have it all for you here on the Lakers channel. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, and I'll see you next time.